By their fruits, you will know them. It's Matthew 7:20. I saw some articles today that made me think about, are we producing fruit? And so often I'll feel a little bit of shame when I know I am not representing the Lord in the way that we should strive to. I used to wear a lot of shirts that had crosses and Jesus stuff on it. And then I'd find myself in situations where, wow, I'm promoting Christ, but my actions are saying something different. So I slow down from that stuff. Every now and again I will, but it's a reminder, if I'm going to wear that stuff, to make sure I'm putting on the spiritual armor every day. I saw an article in Australia. There's a private girls' school, and someone complained about a classmate wearing a cross necklace. So the girl told another girl that she found it offensive, that a girl wearing a cross on her necklace was offensive. Now, personally, just that right there is sad in and of itself, because if you understand what the cross represents, the ultimate sacrifice for those that you love, despite them not loving you back, how could you ever be offended by that act of mercy and grace unless you clearly don't understand it or have been conditioned to believe something else? But I digress. That's the world we're living in. And if you're going to wear a cross, then I hope you will also be able to have the grace and patience to understand that people who reject that and who are offended by that are products of a world that is conditioning us against that sacrifice of the cross. So if we don't exemplify what the cross means, wearing it means nothing. It could be a stumbling block. If that cross doesn't come through in our actions, much less our words can convey a message that may be biblically accurate. But if there is not love, if there is not patience, if there is not grace behind those words, it's a clanging gong. Again, 1 Corinthians 13 describes what love is. And if we don't exemplify those traits of love when we are sharing with anybody, when we are representing the Lord in our attire, with our jewelry, with anything, it doesn't matter if we are not showing love, despite sometimes aggression and outright rebuke from people we encounter. I saw a street preacher post a video where he was confronting Hebrew Israelites who he thought were sharing scripture in error, and he was challenging them, but he was doing it in a way that was very belittling. And I found it sad because he was sharing things that were truth, pointing out scripture, but he was doing it in a way that would be very tough to receive as lovingly or as graceful rebuke, as patient rebuke. And I have to guard myself all the time because it's easy to get provoked. And I know I probably talk about that a lot because this world is trying to provoke the worst out of us. But we got to be mindful of it, especially when we wear our emotions on our sleeve, when we wear a cross around our neck, when we wear anything that represents Christ. We need to make sure our actions are following that lead, following the lead of Jesus to the cross. So our fruit, that's how people will know us. I hope you're bearing fruit and you'll lead many people to Christ. Pray this finds you well. God bless. See you tomorrow.